What's up, guys? It's Danielle, the Yelling Danielle podcast. I don't have the sign up yet. I'm busy. You can see Constance right there in the back. She's still wearing her cone because she has found a way to run into things and break her cone. That's actually her second cone. It's one of them ones that actually has the dome. I'm sorry, this is her third cone. The vet actually told us. I don't know if I can zoom in, but the vet actually told us to tape it. And some guy was in there, and as you guys remember, I'm in Alabama. LA, if you will. Lower Alabama. I'm in LA. This guy said, the vet said, yeah, you can tape the dog's cone. And I was like, oh, are you sure? And the dude was like, yeah, I have to duct tape my cone because my dog will just rip it off. And I was like, yikes. But then I witnessed Constance running into a wall. So good for her. Like, man, she's smart. Which is also terrifying because she is a bulldog border collie mix. So she's got the intelligence of a border collie and just the strength and will to do things of a human. So that's cool. I actually thought it'd be cool if today we talk about like the stuff that like I don't even know if I can full disclosure, this is information that is public online and it is all alleged, but I encourage everybody to go and look it up because I don't want to get sued. So there's your disclaimer. Can we get a disclaimer up here? Okay. Disclaimer. I'm not really going to mention the whole Gwyneth Paltrow thing. We all know that she has that company goop and whatever. But here's a very interesting thing, and I don't know why this is, but Chris Brown, we all know that he to Rihanna, not cool, man, not cool. But I don't know if you know this, but Rihanna was not the only one that has suffered at the hand of Mr. Brown. He's actually done it to a lot of women and stalking and a lot of allegations. Not only has he done this to multiple women, this is a situation that's like a serial situation. Like, and I'm not talking about General Mills. I'm talking about like, this isn't a once, twice, 3 times a lady situation. This is like 7, 12 probably. And just this past year, women were paying $1,000 to grind up on him in pictures, and I could not believe it. How quickly the world moved on from that. I think if you like Rihanna, and I really, really do, and I really think that just in solidarity, you should not support him because he has not been rehabilitated, in my expert opinion. And not that I'm an expert on anything, but I know what's cool and what's not cool, and what he did is not cool. So Rihanna, I'm waving the banner for you, buddy. So sorry about that. Gonna skip right past Jenny McCarthy talking about the anti-vaxxing things. That's becoming more and more of a thing, and I'm not trying to get into political stuff. I like funny stuff. I like to keep it light and fluffy, like pillows. There's a ton of them surrounding Beyonce, and one of them that was just hilarious to me, and I didn't know anything about it until I was vehemently told that I had to look at it because my friend wouldn't stop putting it in my face, was Beyonce's baby bump, the whole conspiracy about how she wasn't pregnant because she went to sit down on a sofa or in a chair when she went on Oprah's show, and her stomach folded in. I I am honestly speechless when I saw that. I'm still speechless about it because there was all these rumors about how she didn't want to lose her body, and because her body's tea, uh allegedly. I That's what people tell me. So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me because I usually when I hear celebrity rumors, I'm like, dude, shut up. But then she has her second child and she acts like this is her first pregnancy. And that's just weird to me. Didn't she have multiple kids? Yes. She had twins, didn't she? Where are they? Where's Rumi and Sir? I never hear about Rumi and Sir. They didn't get to go on a tour with her. Well, that's not cool. Oh my god, they're almost 10 years old. Ooh. I did not even clock that. The time flies when you're miserable. No, I'm just kidding. Time flies when you're having fun. If you're having fun, shout out to you. Look, the point is that she has more than just Blue Ivy, and it's kind of weird that she doesn't talk about her kids or bring them to award shows. She's been bringing Blue Ivy since she was a child. So, but here's what's interesting about Miss Carter is that she preaches empowerment and everything, but behind the scenes, she uses a sweatshop for labor, and it pays 54 cents an hour. And a lot of women and children working in them sweatshops, and she's all about, women doing this, that, and the other. And oh man, that's not good. So I can't really hang out with Old Bay if that's the case. That's just me personally. So don't go off what I'm saying. I remember back in the day, Piers Morgan, somehow he's a huge name. Still, he's been a huge name my whole life. But when he was the editor of the Daily Mirror, that was during the Iraq War, he published photos that he knew were fake of American and British troops abusing Iraqi prisoners. And I don't know how he still has his career, because like the journalism thing is something that's you have to like be honest, I think. I'm not a journalist, but I think um yeah, he was fired, but he managed to still have a successful career. So I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Um it a lot of things are crazy to me. It's like how Roman Polanski still gets awards for his stuff. Like that's crazy to me. Man, I hate bringing this one up because this one hurts. But Jimmy Page was 26 when he started calling a 14-year-old his girlfriend. Jimmy Page, man, why? Mick Jagger too. Mick Jagger there's a whole lot of controversy about the younger girlfriends he would have. How old is this one? It's not good. So I'm not really a fan of that. But I know this one's a weird one to me. I remember like when celebrities have unalive people. And I remember Caitlyn Jenner at the height of everything that was happening, accidentally, I say accidentally, but she caused the car accident that killed Kim Howell. And I just, man, that poor family. And I remember, I think Matthew Broderick also, he accidentally killed somebody. And Brandy also. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure living with the guilt is really bad, but I mean, somebody losing a family member, that's rough. Um, Here's an interesting one. I don't understand how, with the way the world is right now, how Jerry Seinfeld like publicly dated a 17-year-old when he was like almost 40, and like he had his money and everything, But I mean, a 17-year-old is still in high school and everything, but I don't know, it's just weird to me about how he still has like a ton of fans and everything. Uh I don't know. That's so weird to me that people were just completely okay with it. Um I know I talked about Jared Leto in the last at one of the last episodes, but I found this out very recently. He's been accused of R wording by a lot of women, and a lot of them were between 13 and 15 years old. Also, like, this was fairly recent, like within the last couple years, but he has these retreats where he's in all white, kind of like a messiah, and people like worship him, which is crazy to me. I don't know. I I mean, Jared Leto's a funny dude sometimes, but I don't really get behind all that with calling someone Jesus or a Messiah. I'm not really. Anyway, I don't know how this is a thing, but Floyd Mayweather actually has his hands registered as lethal weapons, and he also hits his wife. Yeah, so he wins. That's why nobody cares. So that's kind of messed up. So Steven Tyler convinced the family, Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, convinced the family to let him be the guardian of their 16-year-old daughter so she could go on tour with them. He was 25 and he got her pregnant. So I don't know what her parents were thinking. I don't understand like how I don't understand that. But yeah, I can't imagine a grown man coming to my house and being like, "Hey, can you sign over your kid to me?" And he's like, "Oh, okay," and he just hands him over. Um, oh man. If you didn't know, Julia Roberts is the aunt of Emma Roberts, and Emma Roberts, she's famous for a lot of things, but probably not as famous as her her rap sheet, because if you like Evan Peters, then you know that Emma Roberts hit him really really bad, like really beat him. She really really did, like, and people completely forget about it. So I'm not really sure why people forget about these things, but they, like, somebody will literally mention that and the next comment will be, "Oh, I love her though." Maybe you shouldn't. Carl Malone got a 13-year-old pregnant and doesn't take care of the child. He vehemently refuses to take care of the child. I couldn't believe that. Um let's see. This is one I didn't know that was just sent to me. Boy George beat a guy with a metal chain after cuffing him to a radiator? What? It says Boy George, he beat a guy with a metal chain after cuffing. Okay, after he cuffed him to a radiator. What?
What the?
Hey, you can't say bad words.
Sorry.
Gonna have to edit that out. Ah, man, that's just crazy. Um, well, this probably isn't a shocker to anybody, but Vince Neil, everybody knows Vince Neil is not cool, but he was driving drunk and caused a car crash that killed his passenger. So, there's that. This is one that I think is very interesting. This comes up probably every year that I've ever lived. Um, Charlie Chaplin and Edgar Allan Poe both had intimate relations with and married underage girls. So, but they're both considered icons and pioneers and everything. I get the whole thing about things were different back then, but yeah, I really just don't think we should be celebrating Edgar Allan Poe like that. And it's not just because of those, like, those things are obvious, you guys, but honestly, like, here's the thing. We know about these things. Okay, I'm not saying that his legacy is tarnished now because of it, but I don't think we should be idolizing someone who I just I don't think it's good. I don't think um we should just, like, yeah, I think he also, like, married his cousin or something. I can't remember. Um we could actually talk about cool stuff. Um Tom Cruise, do y'all remember when Tom Cruise was jumping up and down on Oprah's couch? If you guys remember that, then you know how he was, like, up and down. He grabbed Oprah's arms and he was like, "I love Katie, I love her," and then basically he was kind of made into a joke, like, from there on out. I think they even made fun of him um on that superhero movie. There was a guy who was dressed like him. Uh he talked about he could fly and everything. But but then they got divorced, and I don't know. People say that he's real big into Scientology, but I don't know. I wonder how far that actually goes with people, because when they say that, I'm just, if it's out in the open like that, are people, there's this guy that goes around, he keeps going to the front of the Scientology building, and he keeps, like, being weird, like, trying to be funny. Um, and they keep closing the doors. I'm just wondering, like, should somebody go undercover? I have a few questions. Can What do you guys help me? They'll do it. Here's one that I forgot to mention. Um, so Ezra Miller was just, like, he just went crazy for, like, 2 years and just did a whole bunch of stuff. Um, so I don't know how you guys feel about that, but a lot of people they're not fans of Ezra Miller, and they say that that's actually the reason why he kind of isn't in Hollywood anymore. I think he, like, threw a chair at somebody or choked a girl. I think that was one of them. Um, I don't know. I think some of these are kind of bizarre. I know one that people keep trying to get me to believe is that Army Hammer is eating people, and I think it's very odd that in there's a movie called so I think it's Sorry to Bother You. There's a whole weird thing with Army Hammer in there, and I don't know if he is or is not, but I keep hearing about that, and that comes up every now and again. And first off, I don't even know how Army Hammer was famous, because I don't really watch a ton of movies, but also he kind of wasn't anywhere and then he was everywhere. And but the thing is that there was that movie, Call Me by Your Name. Call Me by Your Name. So indie movies are that was a thing that I was going to mention earlier. Indie movies are really weird, and this is what I mean by that. Like, it's crazy to me that in indie movies, I don't understand how everything is like, if you're making a movie that's going to be shown at a festival, uh basically it's everything's like fair game. I don't know how it is, but everything is fair game, and it's things that wouldn't be okay in regular movies. People are like, beautiful. 17 awards. And I'm not saying, look, I didn't go to film school. I didn't do any of that. I don't know anything about anything with the the lighting to make it the most I can really say about the closest I ever got to understanding a movie for its beauty was that movie, A Single Man by Tom Ford. I think Colin Firth was in it. And oh man, another girl was in it, but also that Woody Allen movie, which Woody Allen's in a whole like box by himself. Midnight in Paris, which somebody got me to watch, and man, that's crazy because I like that movie. But I don't watch it because Woody Allen is the guy who made it, and oh boy, not great. But do your own research on anybody I talked about because disclaimer that's it's all hearsay unless it's been proven in a court of law. So I don't know. I don't want to get sued. So anyway, indie movies can basically do whatever they want to do, and I really can't understand how they do it because Call Me by Your Name or My Name, for instance. A lot of people told me to watch that movie, and I did, but I did not finish it. I got to the point where, for one, Timothy Chalamet apparently plays like a 17-year-old, and Armie Hammer is like in his late 20s or 30s. I'm not really sure. So watch it if you want, but he catches Timothy Chalamet walks in on him, self-serving, if you know what I mean. But he was there's this whole obsession in the movie about apricots. So he finishes his self-serve into said apricot, and it's sitting on the side counter, like or a nightstand. And it's supposed to be really flirtatious, but they're talking, and then Armie Hammer picks it up and eats it with Timothy Chalamet's finish in the apricot. So all I can think about when I saw that, first off, I turned the movie off immediately after that because I just thinking about it just gives me rumblies in my tumblies. So I don't really like it. Like if you ever seen a rock tumbler, that's what my stomach does. It's just like blah, blah, blah. I don't like it. 0 stars. I'm sure the movie is great and it's artsy, and I'm sure that it's I'm not the audience for it, I don't think. But all I can think about is how I remember I was somewhere where I wasn't at church. I was at a fellowship thing. This was years ago, obviously. That movie hasn't really been relevant for a while. I was there and they were talking, a lot of people were talking about the movie, and one of the priests, he said, "Yeah, my parishioners took me to go see that." Guys, why'd you take Father to go see that? And they were like, "Oh yeah, it was really good. I read the book." And the Father's just looking at them like, yeah, they took me to go see that. And I had never seen it at the time. So when I saw it and I saw that part and I turned it off, I really was just like, oh my gosh. I can't believe they took him to go see that. So I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. Someone recently told me not to watch not to watch Saltburn, but I did anyway because I'm dumb. Well, I'm not really dumb. Here's the thing that's going on. Everybody's hot for that guy Jacob Elordi. Everybody's hot for him right now, and I mentioned him at work, and then somebody had told me that he was in the movie Saltburn. I said, "Oh, I almost watched that one day," and she was like, "Don't watch it, don't watch it." And then she tells me the reason why not to watch it, and I should have listened, but I didn't, and here we are. Another thing, see, the indie movies thing, I don't understand how a lot of movies that win these awards are very boring, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't understand them, so that I just say I don't understand them, and that's it wasn't for me. It wasn't meant for me, and that's fine. But like Yeah, I was too scared to watch Midsummer. So I asked my parents to watch it for me because I kept seeing a clip on TikTok of these weird things that was really freaky, but it was very scary, and I didn't want to scare myself because, like I said in another episode, I get scared very easily. So I didn't want to scare myself. But it was apparently good. It was but I don't know if it deserves all the hype. I'm just too scared to watch it. So back to Jacob Elordi. Aesthetically, he's very nice looking. I'm not gonna say he's not. And I saw him in Frankenstein, and he was awesome in that. And I've seen him. People tell me to watch Euphoria, and I've watched it, and I don't really get the hype, but I have seen it, so okay. But also Jacob Elordi is he's in a lot of stuff. I tried to I tried to watch Wuthering Heights. Um, you know what? Hey, I'm glad you guys made your money. Make your money. Uh, all you readers out there, we're just going to scoot right by that. Just scoot. um, but anyway, he's in that movie Saltburn, and oh man, Barry Keoghan's in it. And I always feel bad for Barry Keoghan and Jeremy Allen White because people keep talking about how they look like quote unquote rodents. And I don't really agree with that because that's kind of mean. But it is kind of funny to me that I don't agree with it, but it is funny. Like, it's kind of like how when I wear a red shirt, like people say I'm Mr. Kool-Aid. But like, I don't really agree with it. But it is funny because I can't help but laugh because I'm a horrible person, probably. I don't know. I don't think I'm a horrible person, but my need to laugh outweighs my need to be sad. So a lot of times I don't even register a joke. Like, honestly, a lot of it's lowbrow anyway. Like, oh, you called a big girl fat. Who cares? Like, oh my god, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Um, if it's a solid zinger, it's a solid zinger. So that's cool. But Jacob Elordi is in Saltburn, and I don't know if you know about this movie, but there's like a huge twist or something. So I really can't say a lot about it because it really hasn't. I don't know how long it's been out, but it's a new-ish movie. Um, I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff with Barry Keoghan, and he's these indie movies and these movies that are like Oscar bait and everything. They have like a lot of weird nudity. I feel like there's like a rule there has to be nudity or something, and I'm not really like down with that because uh there's a scene in Saltburn, and I feel pretty comfortable telling you guys this. Jacob Elordi is self-servicing, if you know what I mean. You know how like at self-service gas station you gotta pump your own gas? Well, sometimes it's just you and your hand, man. Not for me, but for them. So, he's just in a bathtub, and he's he's going at it. And I don't know why, but Barry Keoghan's watching. And I realize this is just a movie, but yikes on bikes. The dude, I don't like taking baths anyway. I'm more of a shower person because to me, like, you're ruminating in your own juices, and it grosses me out. So, yeah, Jacob Elordi does his self-service moment, and he gets out of the bath and handles whatever he's got to handle for the rest of the day. But unfortunately, the camera stays on Barry Keoghan being a creeper, and he goes to the bathtub, and he goes into the bathtub, and he lays down in the bathtub, and he puts his face on the floor of the bathtub, and the water's like going in his mouth. And it's really gross. It's not great. There's a lot of like weird gross stuff like that in the movie. And buddy, you know who you are who told me about that. And I watched it anyway. And you know what? That's my fault. So I'm not gonna say I won't do it again, but I'll definitely Saltburn will be rattling around in my noggin because oh man, it was gross. And also it was very formulaic. Like I kind of knew where it was going. So but they always have to have a mass amount of nudity, it seems like. And there's a lot of male nudity in those indie movies and things. And I'm gonna stand by what I said before. Like, I sometimes it just doesn't fit. Like that Saltburn movie. First off, that movie you could have taken 45 minutes out of that movie and still would have been too long. But also, like, can we stop having dudes who are apparently like psychotic dancing around naked? Because it's not that I don't believe that they're dancing around in nothing, but do I benefit from seeing little Barry doing you know what I mean? Little Barry orchestrating his orchestra, if you know what I mean. It doesn't. I don't think it adds anything to the movie, especially when like you just see him running around and he's completely nude, and there's talking in the background. It's supposed to be poignant and everything, and I don't know who's rooting for this guy, but my favorite part of the movie was the credits. So I was very happy to see the credits. That movie's just weird. So I don't know. I recently saw a thing today where this guy actually killed his girlfriend and like was disposing of her body, but he also died of a heart attack while he was doing it. So karma got him. So it's kind of weird. So that's something that happened in the news today. That's basically about it. I don't really have a whole lot to. I kind of just decided impromptu to jump on here, and I know a lot of people have been texting me and telling me they like the celebrity videos that I do. They say that it's funny. I don't know where y'all watching it because I know they're on Spotify and YouTube, and there's clips on TikTok. So I don't know where you're watching, but I know a lot of you guys like hear these things like in person, so I don't know, you guys. So I'm trying to give y'all what you want. This is another one, and I don't know. I'm sure I cannot be the only one who has said this, so if I am not, that's fine. I believe I'm not. But for one, a wise man once said, nobody hates Star Wars like Star Wars fans. And that is true. I have met some Star Wars haters that were actually fans of the show. And I thought about this earlier because my book, when it went on sale, it actually, 3 people have bought it, you guys. 3 people. Well, yay! 3 people bought my book, you guys. And one of them was in Canada. So that's cool. Like I mean I expected family and friends to, probably buy it. But I don't know. Someone in Canada, that's really cool. Like, did they find it organically? Do I know them on TikTok? Like, I'm just kind of like, because I know people all over the world, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, I don't know. Just interested to know who it was, But I mean, I won't, but because it's, published and shipped through Amazon, so. But if you see this video, I really hope you enjoyed the book and thank you for giving it a shot. I really appreciate it. But back on what I was talking about, I was thinking about how in Star Wars, Anakin was like, he's always, he's upset, and rightfully so. He had a troubled life, but he's like, I want more, and I know I shouldn't. And so, hey, you know what? Hayden Christensen's a great actor. I'm glad he's finally getting his flowers, but he knows he shouldn't want more because he's a Jedi. But then Obi-Wan sneaks in there with his coolness and his awesome beard and his mullet. Sometimes he has a mullet. And he's like, be careful of your thoughts, Anakin, they betray you. Well, it's like, well, hang on a second. Is that betraying him? Or is him wanting more betraying him? who's betraying who? I don't know. Because sometimes, my point is Star Wars contradicts itself sometimes. And I don't hate Star Wars. I actually really like Star Wars. But I do have to point this out. Han Solo's like almost 30 by the time he meets Luke. And so the fall of Coruscant and the Jedi Council and all that, that all happened right as Luke and Leia's being born. Bail Organa took Leia, and Luke went to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. But he's only 17 when he meets Han Solo. And Han Solo, as my dad does a great impression. He's hokey weapons and ancient religions are no match for a good old fashioned laser, or something like that, or good old fashioned blaster, something like that. But he calls them hokey religions. So they refer to the Jedi as a religion, which is interesting because if you know about what happened during Revenge of the Sith, that whole, I know they cut a lot of stuff from the book, and that's fine. I think it was written by Matthew Stover. Shout out to Matthew Stover. My favorite scene in the book is when they're fighting, when Sindralig is fighting. If you don't know who Sindralig is, definitely look him up. But the main point is that it's just kind of crazy to me because, like, okay, like I said before, I'm almost 40. So when Han Solo was alive, he was a child, but the Jedi Temple fell when he was alive. So that would be like me saying the Twin Towers didn't fall. Like that was hokey. That never happened. Which I guess essentially now that I'm saying it out loud, it kind of sounds like what conspiracy theorists do. But no, the Jedi falling, like the fall of the Jedi, that was something that was like, if you read the books, that was known all over the galaxy, because they went from, being on Coruscant and having the Jedi Council and all that to everything was changed. Lord Sidious changed everything, the whole Galactic Empire thing. It's just weird to me how you could literally be alive and you witnessed it happen, but then you turn around and say, yeah, that was hokey. It was an ancient religion. No, it wasn't, because you were alive, and they have things like holograms. So it's not exactly like he wouldn't know, but also, like, I realize I'm probably not the only one who has said that, but it does. My dad is actually the first one who mentioned that, and it was so funny because he just does this impression of Han Solo that is just so funny, and yeah, I don't know, I just don't like it. They do a lot of stuff in Star Wars where they write themselves into corners, and then they say things are canon and it's not canon. Shoot me out of a cannon, dude. Because I tell you, I love Star Wars, and then I go so long without watching it. But I don't think anything with Star Wars will be as iconic as Obi-Wan facing off against General Grievous, and he's like, "Hello there." And General Grievous is so cool because he's like, "Oh, General Kenobi." I love it. I rewatched those movies, and you know what? I feel bad that everybody was so mean to Hayden Christensen for those movies. It's like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like, he quit acting for a while because of how he was treated. And if you're not familiar with the whole Jar Jar Binks thing, with the actor, about him, definitely go familiarize yourself. It's some really horrible things and how he was treated. And definitely look into that, because guys, be careful what you say online and who you say it to, because it's mean. The thing with Jar Jar Binks is just mean. So, and it's, dude was in a Star Wars movie. What's our greatest accomplishment? Huh? Well, I don't have one. Well, hold on. My greatest accomplishment is that I got my dog. Say hello, Constance. She doesn't want to say hello. Leave her alone. Yeah. His is he played in one of the biggest franchises on the planet. So I don't know. I feel like because if you know about a lot about Star Wars, then you know that Count Dooku he actually trained Qui Gon Jinn, and Qui Gon Jinn was the one who trained Obi-Wan Kenobi. But Qui Gon Jinn was like this close to being a Sith. Like he really like rode the fence on that because and it's I cannot remember what book I was reading, but he basically like he kind of saw the Jedi the same way that Palpatine would describe the Jedi to Anakin as he was an adult because he there was a lot of things he didn't agree with that he observed, and I wonder if if Qui-Gon had like foresight that the whole bringing balance thing that's never sat right with me in Star Wars because he fulfills the prophecy. He's the one who's going to bring balance to the Force. The prophecy is that there was only ever two Sith. So, a master and an apprentice. And I mean, famously, the whole Darth Plagueis thing is like, soon as the apprentice gets stronger, they the the master. So that's the thing. So why would the Jedi be actively trying to fulfill the prophecy? And to me, that's just they're all about intelligence. I don't know. I just remember Kiadi Mundi sitting in the council, and they're having their little chat, and they're talking about Count Dooku, and he's like, he's a political idealist, not a murderer. And it's like, guys, you know all this stuff about them, and you're really over there like, hey guys, we really need to get this guy that's gonna bring balance. Like it's gonna be perfectly balanced. Like there's only gonna be two of us and two of them. Like you really want to do that? Why are you shocked that Anakin killed younglings? Like, I don't know. I don't know if maybe Qui-Gon had like a lot of interesting powers, and like he was one of the ones who was kind of the first to learn how to speak through the Force. They lean on that a lot in the movies and in the books. If you didn't read the books, you can see it in the movies. Um, so they kind of give nods to that, but also so he knew even while he was dying, his wish was that Obi-Wan go ahead and train him because he knew he was the chosen one. He was what the prophecy says. And I just feel like if I was on the council, I would just be like, "Hey guys, I don't know if we really want to fulfill the prophecy, so maybe we shouldn't." It was like Yoda didn't want to train him for a totally different reason, just because he was older and he just sensed fear in him. Did you sense that he was gonna wipe all y'all out? Because it's just crazy to me that a Jedi can see things and feel things before they happen, and y'all are like, no, Anakin's totally trustworthy. Yeah. Hey, why don't you spy on Palpatine, the guy that somehow stayed in power way longer than he should have? That's my only problem with Star Wars is that they put Samuel L. Jackson in the role as Mace Windu when Mace should have Sam Jack should have known that he was going to do that. I think they should have made Sam Jackson Palpatine. That would have been way better. I just think that. I don't know. He's a great actor. So I'll watch anything Samuel L. Jackson is in. He cracks me up in everything, and he's also a really good actor. Um, if you haven't seen Unbreakable, you definitely should see it. He was in we talked about Goodfellas the other day. He was in Goodfellas. So, he's in a lot of good movies, but I love that he's in Star Wars, and he's a great Mace Windu, but I just feel like he would have been a better villain, I think. The point being is that you guys know the prophecy. You're on the council, and already Mace Windu was suspicious of Anakin. Not really suspicious of him, but he did not really trust his instincts on that. Like, especially when he's like, how can you be on the council and not be a master? And then Mace Windu's like, take a seat, young Skywalker. And I'm like, yeah, take a seat, bro. Do what Mace Windu said. See, that's why I can't be on the council. Or if I was, I'd be like Yariel Poof that's in the background. And he's like, I'm just sitting there in my chair, just chilling, just rocking back and forth, just chilling. I'm just there. So I don't know. I always feel bad when they execute Order 66, and then like you see all the Jedi's getting popped, and it's so sad because Yoda's on Kashyyyk, and he's like, ugh. It's like he could feel it through the Force. All his Jedi buddies are just getting capped, man. And I don't like that because Plo Koon, I really liked him, and he just got taken down quick. Like he kind of wish they would have had like an actual fight with him, but he just went down in his cruiser. The clones just took him out. I do find it funny in the book, right after Obi-Wan is on the dragon mount, Boga, I think her name is. And the thing just runs off with Obi-Wan on his back. Cody in the book, the guy who is he's the guy who's the clone that everybody kind of knows, and he's like the squad leader. And Palpatine's like, execute Order 66, and Cody's like, hey, I wish I would have been told that before I gave him back his lightsaber. And it's a really funny moment because yeah, you know what? The most dangerous thing in that galaxy is an armed Jedi. And there's no other way to arm them than giving them their lightsaber. So, yeah, good job there. But, I think they did a wonderful job on General Grievous. I kind of wish they would do like a prequel. Well, no, not a prequel. Hold on. Whew. Oh my God. Did y'all feel that? I felt exactly how Yoda did when they executed Order 66 and started popping the Jedi. Ooh. It's like heartburn. Ooh, I can't believe I said they should make another prequel. No. Don't do that. But definitely, like, I like to see more about General Grievous because he really is a good character. And it cracks me up when I see women online talking about him being a hear me out. You know what I'm talking about. That's always funny. That's always funny to me. They say, wait a second, hear me out. I think I actually have like an action figure of General Grievous floating around here somewhere. But it's so funny to me. Oh guys, Scuttle Scout, look at this shirt. Boop, 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 boop. Launch Party 2026. That's one of the t-shirts you can get on the TikTok shop. Definitely check that out. Also, I'm wearing the Yell and Danielle podcast hat, so you can get a Scuttle Scout launch party shirt, or you can get a Yell and Danielle podcast hat, or a Yell and Danielle podcast shirt. On a previous video, I was wearing this hat, Scuttle Rover. But yeah, I really think I think Mace Windu, I think they really missed the mark with making him a Jedi. I mean, he's a cool Jedi, don't get me wrong, but I think he would have been better as like playing Palpatine. Palpatine is awesome already by the person who plays him. Yeah, I love Star Wars. There's not much more I could say about it. I always feel bad when people talk about how Natalie Portman ruined the trilogy. No, she didn't. Poor writing did. So you could always tell because anything else she's in, you can tell it's a writer, and it always aggravates me when people blame the actor. Like, they're trying to get paid, so they really have to just follow what they're told to do. But you can tell she did the best with what she had. But I mean, old girl just decided she's gonna give up. She's gone. She's like, yeah, I'm out of here. So that did crack me up. She's really great in other movies. I think she actually didn't she win an Oscar or something when she was younger? I'm thinking of someone else. I don't know. The point is that she is a great actress, and I don't think that's her fault because Star Wars notoriously has bad writing. So it's not her fault. And also you can definitely tell they gave all the cool stuff to Obi-Wan because he was a fan favorite. Here's an interesting fact if you didn't know. If I'm not mistaken, Sir Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Sir Alec Guinness actually played him way back in the day. I think they are related. I believe I read that right. They're not related by blood. Oh wait, no, they're not related. Hey, producer, you gotta cut this out. Ewan McGregor and Sir Alec Guinness are not related.
Okay.
Wait a second. Hold on. They are related.
Are they related?
Oh, it says that they share a connection. It says Star Wars fans are eagerly awaiting. Guys, okay, come on. Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness are not related by blood, but they do have a family connection through another Star Wars actor. Yeah, the guy who plays Wedge Antilles, a rebel pilot who fought alongside Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy. He is okay. That's what it was, guys. I got confused because a lot of this stuff I learned when I was just a little Danielle, you know. Look, I read the book Revenge of the Sith, and it changed my life. Okay, Star Wars changed my life when I was younger, just in general. So, I feel like a lot of you guys can relate to that. But yeah, Wedge Antilles was Ewan McGregor's uncle in real life. That's what it was. I sorry y'all, that was totally my bad. Look, I told you guys in a previous episode, do not trust me, okay? Don't just take my word for stuff. You gotta go look that up. But hold on. At least I got your brain thinking. I got the food going into your brain. Just see? So at least be happy about that. So they share a connection through Wedge Antilles. Wedge Antilles is Ewan McGregor's uncle, and Ewan McGregor is playing Obi-Wan Kenobi, or played. So, you know, shout out to Ewan McGregor for being an awesome Obi-Wan Kenobi. He played in that show, Obi-Wan Kenobi, too. So I think a lot of you guys, if you're younger, were kind of introduced to him like that. But I remember when Ewan McGregor was scary in that movie Trainspotting. He played a substance abuser. Yikes. That's scary. When I saw The Phantom Menace, when he was in it, when he played a Padawan, oh man, I was like, this is going to be interesting. Because I was young. A lot of people liked him. In more than one way. Yeah, that movie Trainspotting, I think that's what it was called. I don't recommend watching it because it's the subject matter is very heavy, so definitely don't check that out unless you want to. Something else I wanted to say, but I really shouldn't say it. So I'm not going to say it. So look, I love Star Wars, okay, and I know a lot of people who also love Star Wars. I love Darth Maul. Shout out to Ray Park for being awesome. And if you love Darth Maul, I know everybody's getting hot on the show right now. I think it's an animated series on Disney Plus. So if you really like Darth Maul, there is a book called Shadowhunter, and it is really, really good. You really should go and check it out. Literally at your local library. You know, go read that. The book is really, really good. Also, another thing that cracks me up is I remember this every time I watch Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. It makes me laugh because their ship is like a reflective mirror ship. And back in the day when me and my dad would watch a movie together, every time that scene when they're going to land, he just pretends like he's somebody who's underneath the ship. He's like, oh God. Like, with the thing coming down. Because, like, when somebody kills you with a glare, that always cracks me up. So I can't, like, see that and not remember that because it's just so funny. Also, Weird Al Yankovic did a song to The Phantom Menace. It's basically a parody of Miss American Pie. It's called This Here Anakin Guy. And it's really good. So you guys should also check that out, especially if you're an avid Star Wars fan. That's actually not the only Star Wars related thing he has. Check that one out because the video's really good also. The gentleman who's always on piano or drums, he's got the cloak on like Palpatine. He's playing the piano. So I love that. But also, like, he that song Lola, he also did a parody of that song, and it's a Star Wars song. He also did I Think I'm a Clone Now, which is like the I Think I'm Alone now. from the Clone Wars. Yeah, he did the Clone Wars song. He's always like, "There's always 2 or 3 of me just a hanging around." Yeah, that song is really good. So there's those 3. I believe there is another one. I could be mistaken, but definitely check out. There was a time in the mid 2000s, or maybe it was early 2000s. You know, sometimes your childhood just feels like a blur. Star Wars was, and the parodies was everywhere. You had the Family Guy Star Wars special, which those were great. And then you had the Robot Chicken Star Wars specials, which also really good, which Seth Green is actually a part of both of those projects, Robot Chicken and Family Guy. I I love those. I love those. They're just so good. And then Weird Al was doing his parodies, and it's just so good. There's a lot of, especially if you read the books and stuff. There's a lot of stupid things with the Robot Chicken ones. If you have not seen, if you like Star Wars and you have not seen the Robot Chicken Star Wars specials or the Family Guy movies, I think Blue Harvest is one of them, because Blue Harvest was the movie that they were saying they were filming when they were actually filming Star Wars, because Star Wars almost didn't happen. So another thing that's interesting, if you didn't notice about Star Wars, is back in the day when they didn't have all the special kind of computer effects, a lot of the scenes, whenever they cut to another scene, basically like they seemed like they were just still and then come to life. They had people actually paint those. So when they were switching cameras to that, they actually were those were just paintings, which that is really crazy to me. Another thing that's really crazy to me is that apparently, this is alleged information, but I have heard this from multiple sources. People, like, remember how I said about Jar Jar Binks and the actor who played him. Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be a much different character in the Star Wars franchise. And as a matter of fact, they were actually, he was actually supposed to be like a Sith. Like, but believe it or not, like, this is something you could look up. It's actually kind of like given a nod to. I think they really were going to do that, but they decided not to because of the universal hatred for Jar Jar Binks. There's a whole thing. George Lucas's wife came out and talked about how they were, a lot of the characters were kind of racist, and that's really sad, and it's hard to enjoy things if you think that that has an undertone to it. But they said that the thing about him pretending to be dumb, that was fake. And they say that he was supposed to be a Sith Lord, but they changed it because the character, they didn't think that the franchise could carry on with him being the villain. Like, you got the big baddies, you got Darth Maul, you got Count Dooku, sorry, Sir Christopher Lee, and Count Dooku. He played Count Dooku. Um, yeah, and then of course, you have the powerhouse that's Darth Vader. But look how people reacted about Darth Vader and Anakin. I don't think Anakin did a bad job, but a lot of people, I think he really encapsulated that whole, what would you do in a situation like especially when he went off to save his mom. And I kind of felt bad for Shmi. She kind of was dealt a not so great hand. She's pregnant out of nowhere, and then a couple years later, the kid's a slave, and then a couple years later, kid gets just taken away, and not really taken away, but she's like, hey, yeah, you do better things. And then Watu sells her, and then she ends up getting freed and marrying Lars, and then she ends up getting stolen. So it's not cool. She leads a very, very troubled life. That's a lot of Star Wars, but I don't know if you guys get up to Star Wars like that, but I love it. The Jar Jar Binks thing is really interesting because there's a lot of scenes, and when you know that about how they were gonna make Jar Jar a villain, you can kind of see, like, especially with him being granted powers, like, Palpatine stayed in office way longer than he should have because he manipulated everything. And then Jar Jar Binks was given power. And then there's a scene when, like, they're changing scenes and you can see him and he's like, it's ominous. But it's like the whole, everything else that he acts like, he's like, yeah, Annie! Like, that's a facade. I don't know. I don't think it was a chance that chance encounter, him meeting Qui-Gon Jinn. I think they really were putting all their chips in that, and I just think the public outrage about Jar Jar Binks made them change that, and I think they really still were going to do it. Yeah, but go ahead and hop off here, you guys. I don't know. I know this episode was like a lot different than the usual episode, but this was kind of more of an impromptu one. So I love you guys, and thank you for listening to me. Make sure you subscribe to all my socials, and go check out Scuttle Scout the book. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I really enjoy talking to you guys. Bye.